Hi, welcome back to another episode of my podcast, the 4 a.m. Talks. I'm your host, Manoj Velu. I'm super excited to bring this episode. Before I get into this, I wanted to ask you a question. How are you guys doing? You're doing fantastic? I gotcha. You're doing good? I got it. You're doing okay? I understand you, man. It's gonna get better, don't worry. Either ways, welcome back to my podcast. And each time you come back to my episode, to my podcast, to the channel, listening to my stories, my sister's poems, you know, it made me understand that you value me, my stories, my sister's poems. So you value me means that I have to give an important topic that is going to make you reflect. I'm going to give it back to you by giving this wonderful episode. I'm super excited for this episode. I'm going to talk about something that's really important in everyone's life. Not only me, you, everyone. But before I reveal that component, I'm going to tell you what prompted me for this episode. 2 weeks back, I was reading an article. It was about successful people and what they do which makes them successful. So, when I read that article, I asked myself, why can't everyone do this? Why only few are doing it? For example, in sports, there are only few, who are dominating. Why is that? There are many people who are playing the sports, but why only few are the best? Why only few get to that level which they wanted to? So this is what prompted me for this episode. I really was very curious to know why certain people are able to do this, because they are wired with a very special element. You want to know what is that element is? I'm going to tell you, but before that, I'm going to tell you a short story that will lead up to this key element. Imagine Sean Williams and John Carpenters. They are sprinters. They get ready for the race. It's a 500-meter dash. As they get ready, they look up to that big, TV, which shows the stats. The last time when they competed, Sean Williams finished first. He finished that 500-meter dash in just 10 seconds. Meanwhile, John Carpenter finished that race. He didn't finish first or second, he finished fifth or sixth position. It took him 17 seconds. For Sean Williams, it is 10, and for John, it is 17. Now, as they get ready, they look up to that stat and they gather all the thoughts, all the strategies that they wanted to implement in this race to get better, and the race starts. This time, Sean Williams won again. He wins this race. It just took him 12 seconds. John finished third and it took him 15 seconds. You know what happens in the bigger picture? Sean Williams is not happy. John is reasonably happy. You know why? Because John took more time. He took 2 seconds extra in this race when comparing to the last, whereas John Carpenter has improved drastically and he has won third prize. See, what these two guys are telling us is one important thing. They relate to one important thing, and that is the champion mindset. What is the champion mindset? I was thinking about various things, to tell you what a champion mindset is. But I read this beautiful quote which will explain beautifully, and I quote, if you want to become a champion, compete. If you want to become a great champion, compete with great. Compete with great people. If you want to become the greatest champion, compete with yourself. This is one of my favorite quotes. And do you understand what Sean and John are doing? They are competing with themselves. That leads to champion mindset. So you may ask, okay, you told me, can you give a real example? You just give, a story based. Can you give a real example so that I can connect to what champion mindset is? I'm going to tell you, I've never articulated a real life incident in this podcast, in any of the episodes. This is the first time doing it. I feel this is important because this is very, very important element in everyone's life. I really feel this is very important, and I really want everyone to have this mindset and get better. This is my only, aim or a goal for this episode. With that being said, I'm going to go right in. There was this test match happening between South Africa and Australia. It is a test match. And this happened 10 to 12 years back. So Graeme Smith, or you guys know who Graeme Smith is. He's one of the South Africa's greatest captain. He's an opening batsman. He opens up, and there was one bouncer that was bowled by Mitchell Johnson, and you know Graeme Smith broke his hand. He was retired hurt. He couldn't continue. And then there was other batsman who was coming in. And you know what happened? I'm going to tell you. It was day 5. Day 5 of a test match. It was the last day. You all know, guys, test matches are being played for 5 days. This is the last day, and South Africa was trying to survive and end up this test match by making it a draw than an Australia winning the test match. There were 8 overs, 9, 10 overs remaining, and they were 8 down. And then one more wicket falls, which means they are 9 down. Once they got the 9th wicket, Australia, they celebrated. They celebrated, they knew, and the whole world as well, that Smith is not going to come and bat again because he has broken his arm. They started celebrating. Meanwhile, this guy batted up, came out to bat. The whole Australian crowd appreciated Graeme Smith for his courage to come up and bat and save the test match for his country. Look, that is a champion mindset. He tried his level best. There were 8 overs that Smith and Mackay and Tini needed to survive. Smith tried his level best, and there were only 2 to 3 overs remaining, and Mitchell Johnson bowled a Jaffa, and Graeme Smith got out. The bigger picture is Australia won. Australia won the test match. It's going to be in the history. But what will be remembered for ages is Graeme Smith coming out to bat when his arm is broken, trying to save a test match for his country. That champion mindset will always be remembered. You see, that is champion mindset. When nobody thinks that this is possible, you think it's possible and you try. So, this is a champion mindset. Never give up. You know, when I think about never giving up and why, I ask myself a question: why would one give up? We're gonna go backwards rather than being forward. Why would one give up? So I'm telling you, if you want to have the champion mindset, you need not have to give up. You should never give up. So now you gotta ask yourself why one gives up. One gives up because he's not taking that one thing which he wants to achieve to his heart. He's just telling it and he's not taking it to his heart. Which, if you take it to your heart, it means everything for you. So, when you never give up and you keep trying what you're doing, you have developed that power of not giving up, but at the same time, you're making sure that you are not repeating the same mistakes that you have done in the past, which leads up to learning. Now, you may ask me, how does one learn? Learning comes from assessing yourself, trying to understand yourself, where you're good at, where you're not so good at, how to improve on that, how to keep, keep these good things going that you're already, good at and take it to that next level. This is a champion mindset. So, your understanding, this is how I break down champion mindset. So, champion mindset, I'm going to repeat it again. It's going to be, if you want to have a champion mindset, you need to never give up. How does one never gives up? One never gives up when he takes something to his heart that he wants to achieve and never give up for anything, which means he's taking it to his heart. You're getting me? So how does one, take to his heart? He has to believe in himself that this is the thing of learning. Constantly learn from the mistakes that we had done before and not try to do the same mistake again. How does learning come? It comes from self-assess. So this is what I really wanted to tell you. Self-assess is really important. You need to understand yourself to get better. Irrespective of professional or personal life, you need to self-assess yourself. There is one more component, there is one more thing that is required. That is, how do you bounce back from failures? There is this basketball player called Kobe Bryant. He's my favorite basketball player. I relate to him a lot, and he had done many great things, and I'm super happy and proud to be his fan. You know what he did? I'm going to give you another example. He lost NBA championship. Next day, he started practicing. See, when he asked about it, he told, the next championship training starts right now. That is a champion mindset. You're understanding? They constantly wanted to get it done, no matter how difficult it is, whatever the obstacles could be. If you do this, you know what happens? 20, 30, 40 years. You imagine you're 70 and you're standing in front of the mirror. You know what you will say? If you had that champion mindset and went after it, wow, what a journey. There were so many obstacles. There were so many challenges. There were so many difficult situations in my life. But I went through and got what I wanted. What a journey. That feeling will give you happiness. That happiness will turn into peace. That is the greatest feeling ever. If you don't have these things, if you are not wired in this way, and if you are not going after something that you really love and really wanted to do, then at the age of 70, you will be standing in front of the mirror and you would have said, I wish I could have done more. I wish I could have done a lot better. I wish I could have done once more. I could have tried once more. See, these things, I wish, I wish, I wish. You're just wishing and you haven't executed. You know that. The point is, you need to have that champion mindset mode wired. Champion mindset could be little different for you guys. I understand that you work differently. Remember, if you are getting better, you're having that champion mindset. Because who will become better is someone who's never giving up. You're understanding where I'm leading up to. So today you become better. Tomorrow you try to analyze that part which you wanted to become better. Try to take some references, see what other people have done. Get all the things, all the information that is needed and try to figure out. Once you keep doing it, you will become better. And one day you will become the best in that industry. A champion mindset, I told you that he or she will never give up, irrespective of whatever the reason could be. Imagine you wanted to become an author, or because of family situations and everything, you have been forced to put in a 9 to 5 job. You have to work in a 9 to 5 job. You know what a champion mindset will do? They'll come home, relax for some time. From 9 p.m. to 3 a.m., they are going to work on their dreams. That is, you are an author, you are trying to write some stories or poems or whatever it is, trying to get better. The next day, come up and see, okay, this is good, this is not so good, this is what I need to improve. All right, this is what I need to do. These are the references that I've got. So I'll try this idea. Okay, I write a story. No, it's not fitting in. Okay, next day, come back. This I'm going to try this idea. See, there's this constant, having that mindset of getting better and trying to do better in your craft. You will reach a level where you would have never thought in your life that you would reach that level anyway. The champion mindset is for everyone. It is not for few. It is for everyone. It is out there. But the point is whether you are going to take it or not. That is all. If you are going to take it, see how your life changes. If you are not, then I don't want you to regret, when you become old and you look up to yourself and say, I could have done. Don't, we shouldn't be having that type of thought running when we are old. That is the worst feeling ever that one could have. So it's always about constantly getting better, constantly getting better. That is the one thing. And with the end of this episode, you take this, you reflect, and you become big one day. That is the most happiest thing that could ever happen to me. You can ask me, I've never told you. I've never written an email. I've never tweeted. I've never sent an Instagram message to you. How would you know? There is a feeling that's always going to come to the Creator. And that feeling is enough for me to understand that someone did their best by reflecting, something out of my episode, out of my podcast, and getting better in their life. That is the real happiness and success. Tomorrow, this episode, 10 years, 15 years, this could go, viral. This could go, you know, uh, it could go where I would have never thought that these many views would have come to my channel or this particular episode. What is the real happiness to me is when someone reflects, goes back, reflects on this, and getting better. That is the whole ideology of these episodes that I'm doing. I know you'll get better. I know. For sure, you're getting better. You are getting better. I know that. You are wired with champion mindset. I know that. A champion mindset, you know what he'll do? After this episode, he's going to reflect back. He's going to study a lot more of what champion mindset does. And he's going to take all these things and he's going to apply that in his life and he's going to grow. I know this is a long video. You may want to watch this twice to get all the things that I have told you because I have just dived in deep to make you understand what a champion mindset is. So, coming back to that story, John and Sean, long term, they're going to be the greatest. People will remember them because they are thinking long term, and that is to keep getting better every single day. Eventually, there are going to be more Guinness World Records because they're having that champion mindset and constant quest of becoming better. Please reflect this and do actions. There is always a chance of getting better in your life at any point. You need to understand that. You may be 70 and you may be starting. No problem. You have started. That's a good thing. It's really important. I really wanted you to get better at your craft and also in your personal lives and be a better person. And eventually, you know what is going to happen? That champion mindset of becoming the best version of yourselves, being a professional life, be it a personal life. I know you're going to rock it. With that being said, have a wonderful day, everyone. This is being intense. I know that. Reflect back, sit back, relax, think about it, reflect on it, go get better at it. With that being said, have a wonderful day, everyone. See you in the next episode. Bye.